Oh my god, the markets are pumping today. Do I need to buy now before it's too late? Should I buy some Bitcoin before it actually heads to the moon and leaves without me? But wait, the Fed's meeting is tomorrow. Maybe they'll raise interest rates so the markets are pumping, getting me bullish only for it to crash. So the Fed's meeting is tomorrow and it's very likely they're going to raise or pause interest rate hikes. Let's go ahead and check out what Bitcoin is doing as well as SPX or the S&P 500 is doing before tomorrow. Right now, we are having a green day and things are looking good so far. And this is my chart of Bitcoin here. I've gone through it already for my past two videos. This is actually the daily candle versus the weekly. I honestly think that we are topped out with Bitcoin. Could be famous last words. Bitcoin could keep pumping up and I could be wrong and this video won't age well. But this is kind of what I'm seeing. This yellow line, again, just to be real quick, if you guys have watched my past two videos, you know all about the yellow line, but they're all at the exact parallel line, at the exact angle. This yellow line, it just keeps showing up. Check out this yellow line right here. We bottomed out right here. If you continue it up, we followed it right here. And then if you continue it up, this was Bitcoin's first all-time high at 64,000. We followed it up there. And here we visited it here. And then we also visited here and we visited here. Look at that bounce, that nice bounce went up. And then once we broke through this, we went down. You see that? And then look at this. When Bitcoin is rising, it was inside of this channel here. This is the bottom of the channel. Look how many times it touched it. Once, twice, 3 times, 4, 5 times. Once we broke it, we started going down. And when we go down, it's actually the blue channel. So for some reason or another, I don't know why, but Bitcoin tends to follow this yellow angle as well as this blue angle. It doesn't follow it exactly. Sometimes we're above it and then sometimes we're below it. See how this lighter, thicker blue line right here, how we were above it, we bounced, we went under it, went back above it, we bounced, we went back under it, we tested it, went above it, then we crashed back down, crashed and hit it as resistance. As resistance went up slightly above it, only to crash down, and now we're above it. You see that? For some reason or another, I don't know why Bitcoin does that, but it does that. And so let's go ahead and take a look at this yellow line. So yellow lines, again, is when Bitcoin is pumping. And looking at the daily chart, which kind of gives me a little bit of more detail, if I were to redraw or reposition this yellow line here, check this out. I'm going to move it like there. Bitcoin topped out here as of recently. This was yesterday's candle. This was the day before. And this here is today's candle. Let's see if we'll actually touch the top of that yellow line. If we go ahead and pull back, you could just see how so many times either the wick touches it or the body of the candle touches this yellow line. Look at here, almost there. I kind of think we're topped out because the big, like, look at the price here. It just like touched that yellow line twice already, exactly to the tick. And so I don't know, like it could be a potential that we break above it and ride it on top, because that definitely could happen too. But it's looking like Bitcoin is topping out, and definitely with what's going on tomorrow with the Fed meeting, you know, we could have had this really nice pump only for the Fed to put the brakes on, raise interest rates, and the market could start going back down. I think a lot of people are thinking that now with this whole bank crisis that the Fed could pause interest rates or very soon, and that's why the market is kind of like pricing that in, and that's why it's pumping. We could even see that with the S&P 500 here. This is a very similar situation. The yellow lines right here is when things are going up, when we're bullish, and then the blue lines is we're going down, okay? So right now we've been going down in this main channel, this thicker line, and then this lower thicker line right here. So that's like the main channel. We've hit it on top here. We went inside of it. We bottomed out right here in June of 2022. But we can see here that the S&P did make a really nice pump, okay? So let me go ahead and measure that out. We bounced off of that line, went all the way up to here. So that was about a just under 5% move. So the S&P 500 has been bouncing up. There could be a potential where we go all the way back up here. Is it likely? Maybe. I think that we could make it up there, you know, especially if things just continue heading into this more bullish range, especially if we take a look at the dollar here. The dollar is coming down. Now, the reason why I think we are kind of topping out, however, is because the dollar, even though it has been going down, and as we know, if the dollar starts falling and goes down, when it's weakening, it actually is good for Bitcoin and it's good for stocks as a whole. And so far it has been coming down. Therefore, the market has been coming up the past couple of days here. And so we are actually hitting some support. So right now we're kind of at that point in time right here. If we were to break down, then markets will continue pumping up. And so right now we're having this long tail. Look at that. That's a really long tail, which kind of just tells me we might actually have a bounce back up. Along with that, we are also hitting this support level right here, where if I draw a line horizontally, we are hitting that support level, which tells me that there could potentially be a bounce. And if we were to bounce out of this downward channel here, that's going to look very bad for Bitcoin and as well as equities as a whole. So let's go ahead now and take a look again at the S&P 500, and I'm actually going to switch it to the daily candles. Okay, so let's look at the yellow line. Okay, so this yellow line is the same angle as that one, is the same angle as that one. Look how well price actually stuck to this yellow line so well ever since the whole pandemic. You know, it stuck from April of 2020 all the way up to January of 2022. So 2 years it went up at this exact angle. It's just insane. And if I go ahead and copy that line over to the bottom here, where we actually bottomed out in October of 2022, and we could see how when we carry the line up where we're at today, we can see that we gapped up as of yesterday. We gapped up, and look at that. It almost hit it to the tick. So markets are pumping. Bitcoin is going up. We'll see if the DXY actually bounces or if it continues to go back down. And actually, we'll see what happens by tomorrow when the Fed actually either pauses or raises rates. So what the market is thinking is that the Fed is going to raise rates by 0.25 basis points. There is an 85% chance that that's very likely. And the markets also think that there is a 15% chance that the Fed will actually pause due to all of this bank crisis situation. The economy is starting to head back down. Will the Fed actually chicken out and pause, or will they continue to try to fight inflation by raising rates? They said that they want to raise rates to 5.25 basis points. We're currently sitting at 4.75 basis points. So if they raise rates by 0.25 by tomorrow, we'll be at a nice round 5% federal funds rate. The Fed did say that they would want to raise rates by 5.25, which means there could be a potential that the Fed could raise rates again in May by another 0.25 basis points. So let me know down in the comments if you think that the Fed is going to raise rates by 0.25 basis points, or are you in the camp that the economy has had enough, this whole bank crisis situation has been really bad, and that the Fed is actually going to pause. So again, if they're going to pause, markets will continue pumping up, and if they are going to raise interest rates, markets will likely head back down. I'm in the camp that markets have kind of topped out. They have pumped up nicely today. Bitcoin has been pumping up, and so we're setting up to almost crash back down once the Fed makes their decision to hike interest rates by 0.25 basis points. So that's what I personally think. Obviously, I can be wrong. We'll see how it all plays out, and I'll try my best to keep you guys up to date. So definitely hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm trying really hard to try to get this channel monetized. So I need 1,000 subscribers. So thank you so much with your subscription. Also, if you learned something, definitely hit that thumbs up button. It really helps out the channel. All right, guys, that is about it for this video. My name is Jimmy Invest, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.